Should you try a Soulsborne game? What a daring question to ask yourself. That question is the same as asking yourself if you love pain. I won't be giving you a review, nor will I be telling you to buy any of these games, but I might be able to answer your question. Should you try a Soulsborne game? I'm Phantom, and this is Should You Try? So you want to play a Soulsborne game? A game that will test your limits as if you got a mall Santa sitting on your shoulders.
I don't know. I didn't know you were going to ask me.
I'm talking about a game that will make you more pissed off than the time Logan was acting like a simp toward your girl.
Simp. That's right. You're a simp.
But you can get good, and you'll feel more glory than defeating Karen in verbal combat. Let's start easy. What are these games? Well, you've got the Dark Souls series, the Granddaddy, then you've got Bloodborne, the PS4 exclusive, because Sony is a bunch of greedy cunts. Sorry, I'm not salty or anything. And their latest entry, Sekiro, my personal favorite. These games are fundamentally and mechanically the same except for some key differences that really change up the formula. These are some of the most immersive games I've ever played. But I bet you're sitting there wondering, but Phantom, how? But how, Phantom? Well, shut your goddamn mouth and click like. I'm getting to it. Probably the number one thing you've heard about these games is that they are very hard. So hard, it might be harder than your grandpa's 5-hour lasting erection. By the way, you should probably call somebody about that. To that I say yes. Yes, they are difficult, but they are fair. These games will punish you if you make the slightest error, but dying is just a mechanic of the game. A mechanic to help you get better. They literally have a Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition as one of the titles. Every time you die in the game, you know it's your fault, not the game being unfairly difficult. That's when you have to get good, learn from your mistakes, rise above them, and go clap the cheeks of those who just clapped yours. And boy does it feel good to finally start kicking some ass. This is an RPG, which means you get to customize your character physically and through their attributes. When you first start the game, you'll be able to make your character as beautiful as you want, so you can get all them e-girls to give you their seed. Or you can create a monstrosity that is the living embodiment of famine. How about attributes? You want to be the guy who goes on roid rage? Just put all your points into strength. Or you want to be the fast boy, huh? Like Sunek? Just put all the points into endurance. There's a lot of different playstyles that you can choose from. Let's dive into combat. The combat is phenomenal in these games, as they make you feel like a pathetic piece of shit until you learn the tricks of the enemies. Usually every enemy has a weakness of some kind that you can learn through studying their movement. The possibilities are endless, or to how far your will can stretch. Need to take a shit while playing? Well, fuck you! Unlike this video, these games don't pause. You heard me right. You cannot pause the fucking game. I'm not even making this shit up. I think it's because they don't want you to pause the game during combat for some reason. I have no idea, but it's important to know if you're going to play these games. The whole world and flow of the game is based around these bonfires. Lamps for Bloodborne, and shrines for Sekiro. Once you rest at a bonfire, you regain all of your health and specific healing items that you may have used. Oh yeah, and everything that you've killed also respawns, fresh, with full health. The only things that don't respawn are bosses and certain mini-bosses. Sometimes you can teleport from area to area using these bonfires, or you can teleport to your game hub, where you'll be leveling up. To level up, you'll need to kill enemies and collect their souls. But if you die, you end up losing all of your souls that you were carrying. Fear not, for you can recover your lost souls only if you get back to the spot where you died and collect them. If you end up dying again, then you lose your souls forever. Then you go to the game hub and talk to some lady about leveling up. What do you mean I don't have enough V-Bucks? Next, let's talk about exploration, because there's a lot of it. The environments are some of the most unique and beautifully terrifying I've ever seen in any game. And this goes for all of the Soulsborne games. They do not disappoint with environment. You can tell that they handcrafted the world with a lot of love and passion, even if this shit is demented and vilely disgusting, especially Blighttown. Fuck you, Blighttown. Their games aren't quite open world, but it's all interconnected without any loading screens. You might find a secret that ends up looping back to another area that you've been before. It's very Metroidvania styled. and it's so much fun to unravel the world and its secrets. Which, if you want to understand anything that's going on in the fucking story, you'll have to learn through reading and through the environment. The story is really weird because it doesn't outright tell you anything. If you wanted to, you could play through all of the Dark Souls games and still have no fucking clue what is going on. The only way to uncover the secrets of these worlds is through silent reading time. Don't you dare make a fucking peep during silent reading time. Most of the lore is uncovered by reading item descriptions, which are somewhat interesting sometimes. Majority of the people who play these games aren't here for the story. Time to talk about what brought me into these games. Most epic boss battles ever. Need I say more? The bosses in these games are amazing to fight and to get your ass kicked by. All of the bosses are typically top-notch in difficulty with a few exceptions. Looking at you, Pinwheel. I've never felt more of a reward and rush while playing than when I figure out how to beat one of the bosses in these games. Or until I look up a YouTube tutorial to tell me how to beat the boss. Because sometimes this shit is hard. When you see that white fog, you know it's about to go down. If you love boss fights and want interesting enemies to fight, you need to play these games. Now, I know I said this was a single player experience, but it also has some co-op and PvP elements. While you're minding your own business, just leveling up and exploring, right after you figured out how the game works and you're starting to feel confident. Wait, what? Who's that? What the fuck? Who the hell is this guy? Fuck this game! Then you've also got Jolly Cooperation, where you can call upon fellow players to help you in a boss fight, or to be totally fucking useless pieces of shit. And players leave notes. Whether they're helpful or not, I'll leave that up to you. Huh, what's this? Treasure ahead. Haha, sweet. Can't wait to get me some yummy loot. What? Okay, that's most of the mechanics. What about the game differences? Bloodborne. As for Bloodborne, it's a PS4 exclusive, which pains me. You can't just rest at a lamp. You have to keep going back to the game hub. Why is this a thing? Why do I have to fucking go through a loading screen just to rest and get back all of my health? Also, instead of replenishing healing items, you get blood vials, which can probably and will run out. You want to block in this game? That's cute. Try dodging instead. Now let's talk about Sekiro. My favorite. Sekiro doesn't have any PvP, nor does it have co-op. Sekiro has direct storytelling, which means it'll have cutscenes and you can kind of pick up what's going on in the game. Sekiro is an established main character, so he can't be customized. Sekiro has a prosthetic arm with all sorts of different tricks and tools to help you along your journey. Sekiro is also a stealth game, which allows you to grapple and climb and do all sorts of parkour. It is amazing. Sekiro also adds posture. You can block almost every attack in the game, but if your posture meter goes all the way down, you're vulnerable, which basically means you're fucked. If you can deflect their attacks, then their meter goes down. If you get their meter all the way down, you can do a shinobi death blow, which is usually an insta-kill, or on bosses, it'll take a significant portion of their health away. This is why Sekiro is my favorite. It truly makes you feel like a shinobi once you master its combat. People argue that this game is harder, but once you get the gist of the combat, you'll end up dominating this game, being the most badass motherfucker. Now I want to make a couple comparisons to a couple games that you may have played already. Maybe you've played this little indie project called, what was it? Shit. It really flew under the radar. It was, I think it's Space Monk Joker Looks for Shit. Anyway, a lot of that game took inspiration from Soulsborne games. The combat was very similar to how Sekiro worked. The meditation system was almost identical to Dark Souls' bonfire system. Then you have games that are called Souls clones, like Neo and The Surge, which were also inspired by the Dark Souls formula. My overall experience with these games started out rocky. When I first touched Dark Souls 1, I was a GTA Online squeaker who did not know the masterpiece that I was playing. I quit the game even before I left the first area. Then I was lucky enough to try the game again a few years later, and ever since I've fallen in love with all of these games. These games are a perfect challenge for any gamer who is willing to step up and test their will, but they're not for everyone. Are they for you? Leave a comment and let me know. Have I convinced you to try it, or have I scared you away from it? Doesn't matter. Now shut the fuck up and get in my van. Thank you guys for watching. Click like and hit subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit that notification bell, it really helps us out. This video was made in association with Arcadian Media. They're a gaming news website that covers all things gaming. Go check them out. Link is in the description. Check me out on Twitter if you like dank memes. Lastly, have a great rest of your week. Make sure you're washing your hands and stay safe. See you guys later.